we ready to go?
I'm really hoping I'm in frame. Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah. I'm hoping I'm not.
No,
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
75th episode of the Athletes Podcast coming at you from Northern Ontario, featuring the AP team. Welcome to the show.
it's like northern, southern Ontario.
Yeah, so Jordan, what are we talking about today?
All right, are we going to go through the overview right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just start going in.
Okay, we're going to talk about the start of the AP. Dave's probably going to dive into that one.
Wait,
right?
hold up. We didn't even introduce the 75th episode.
We did.
We're literally.
You just did.
Did you?
75th episode of the Athletes Podcast coming at you.
But did you say what we're doing? Like, should you say like?
That's what I was doing now.
Okay, we'll edit this part out.
That's okay, we might keep it in. I haven't decided yet.
Fuck.
Okay, Jordan, what are we doing?
Okay, we're going to talk the start of the AP, how it became, the rise of it, this man right here. And then, secondly, we're going to talk about bringing in the man, the myth, the legend, Jordo. Then we're going to talk about our episodes before COVID. So, I don't know, like when we were able to bring guests into the house, the good old times. And after that, these two went on a nice little Ottawa trip. They're going to talk about that and bringing on Ian Singleton to this wonderful team. Then we're going to talk about the recent challenges that we've done, during COVID and how we busted our ass for, last month, I would say. A couple months.
We've been doing a lot lately, hey?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, let's talk,
What?
let's bring it back to a year, 8 months ago.
Yeah, bring it back.
September 2019. We can add in voice effects. You don't need to do them.
What did you just do?
Like, woo.
I want to use that. We're gonna use that sound effect actually.
Guys, a steak. So Jordo, you witnessed the first episode of the Athletes Podcast and the setup we had.
Yes, I witnessed that.
I would love for you to detail what it looked like, and I'll correct you if there's any minor adjustments. But
Oh God! All right, so the first episode we had Mojo Fitness, right?
Correct.
Mojo. So it was a glass table. Him and Dave were sitting at the end of it. I'm pretty sure these I don't know. It was one microphone that they had to split between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the audio quality's gotten a bit better since then. But the camera, okay, so...
This is my iPhone.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have these fancy little stands. We're living the high life right now, no. Before it was you can correct me on this, it was a shoebox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but on top of the shoebox was what? Like a bag of sugar?
Bag of brown sugar.
Bag of brown sugar. Was there anything on top of that? Or is that what you rested the phone on?
No, so the bag of brown sugar was holding the shoebox. The phone was on top of the shoebox.
Do we have footage of this to show?
Well, we have the first episode, so like what it looks like. We don't have it behind the scenes.
We should recreate what it would actually look like.
We may have to.
Give an example of it.
He MacGyvered a kick-ass iPhone stand to record the podcast, and
Just to get a good angle of, jaw
Yeah,
lines.
he had more shoe boxes or bags of sugar if we really needed them, but we thought one of each was enough. And that was the studio. It was in a big open room. That was the studio, the first episode.
Yeah, safe to say we've come a long way. Learning the ins and outs from you guys around audio, video, kind of display what that requires. Crazy, looking back now on episode 75, we've been putting out like some legit content over the past couple months.
I think so at least.
Man, it's cool to see the progression. That's what I love.
We're getting good feedback on it too. People are liking the content we're putting out at least.
Man, we're over 10,000 downloads. We're averaging a couple hundred views per episode on YouTube. Like, things are growing, and
Things are cooking.
stuff like this doesn't happen overnight, right?
Let's go.
Stuff like this doesn't happen overnight. So, it's all about the long game. We're being patient. You guys are committed. You see the vision.
Oh yeah.
And that's where it's exciting to see what's going to happen. So, Jordo, explain what happened when you were brought onto the team. Because originally you were not. First 5 episodes, I was going Han Solo.
Yeah, Han Solo. But yeah, that was the first 5 episodes.
Solo.
I get like Han.
Wait, but hold on. Before you go there, did you, once again, I don't know, did you just talk about why you started the Athletes Podcast? I've always wanted to know, why did you do it?
So, I grew up playing every sport. Literally, cricket, volleyball, football, basketball, hockey, golf, you name it. I did it at one point throughout elementary, high school. Never got to that next level, and it always kind of bothered me. Even during uni, I didn't get into. I was involved with athletics, but never played anything at that high level. Next, so for me, it was. I really want to be able to educate the next generation of athletes, and when I say that, I mean I want to be able to provide insight to a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old snowboarder who really has no idea what they're doing.
Like when you were 10 or 15, you would have loved to listen to a podcast like this, right?
Exactly. And hopefully through that, we're able to educate these new kids coming up through the ranks and give them insights as to what those professionals are doing and what they've done to get to that level. Because everyone sees LeBron James right now and sees that, you know, like he's making millions of dollars. He's an incredible athlete. He like never misses a shot. When in reality, they don't see every morning him waking up at 5 a.m. grinding, him putting in work after school, before school, his mom grinding to put food on the table. Like, those are the kinds of stories that I want to share through the Athletes podcast that's going to really showcase what it takes to get to that level and hopefully provide some inspiration to the younger gen and ultimately their parents too, right? Like, I think through this we're able to communicate with so many people. That's what I love about podcasts. Like, anyone can click onto this, listen, and gain this knowledge. Like, I wish I had the ability to talk to Mikey Taylor, ask him questions, get insight on, you know, real estate investing, or what it takes, you know, when you're ripping through on a skateboard in LA, 17, 18, being harassed by cops. Like, those are stories and insights that I wish I could have learned as a kid.
True.
So I'm hoping now this is a way for them to get that information.
True, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so go back to you joining the podcast.
Good. That's good.
That is
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you. I have good questions sometimes.
So, I saw Dave was working on a podcast, and I think he asked me if I wanted to help out at the time. And I didn't mind like setting up, like doing a quick setup for him before the podcast started. But I don't know if I was one asked, hey, you want to be on the team like full time or just like help you out? And the reason why I wanted to do it, number one, is because I could have been the tech guy. I love being the tech guy for anything I do, you know, working with computers and stuff. B, I was talking about sports, so although I only did like hockey and jiu-jitsu as a kid, I love watching pretty much anything, or even playing the games, as we all know. And then came to podcasts too. Both Dave and I think watched the Joe Rogan Experience a lot, and I was like, man, we were like, yo, you could be the next Jamie or the Jamie for the Athletes podcast. So I thought that was a fantastic experience, and so I hopped on it and been part of the team. However, a lot better in the past couple months, but been on the team ever since.
Yeah, so Kate, let's dive into that. What made that switch here in January? Because you've kicked into like 6th gear.
So I've always imagined, you know, the typical once you're done university, find a 9-to-5 job, work your way up the ladder, and that's great. But then I thought about, you know, recently, probably over the Christmas break, I thought, do I really want to do like a 9-to-5 job? And I thought, okay, what's the best possible job I can get working for a company? And I thought, well, if I worked for Google, that would be amazing. But then I also thought, I don't know if I want to do a Monday to Friday 9-to-5 grind for my entire life. I'd rather, there's a business here with 2 great guys, and we can really grow something of it. So I thought, okay, let's give all we got with the Athletes podcast, and then I can, you know, do what I love every single day and make my own hours doing it. We just do what we want. And
was that your thought, like when Dave first asked you if you wanted to join? That was your first thought was like, we're gonna make a lot of money off this. It'll be successful.
No, my like the first time he asked me to join.
Yeah.
No,
like,
when
literally, what was your first thought? Because mine wasn't that.
No, my first thought was like, okay, we're talking about sports, and I get to be the tech specialist, the tech guy for it, the producer.
Yeah.
Brain farting that, we can cut that out. Yeah, I'd be the producer for it. So I was like, heck, like that's my 2 favorite things. So
True.
I definitely want to hop on that. But no, it's not even so much the money I've talked about. If I can just make a living doing this, I'd be super happy, because ultimately we've enjoyed every single thing we've done for the Athletes podcast, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, I have.
Like every piece of content we filmed, the workouts we've done, even the stupid Goggins challenge feels amazing afterwards, but during it was, you know, let's be honest, we were all pissed off at it. It was a frustrating time, but still, it was something we enjoyed doing, and I just want to do stuff like that forever. So
true. So Ian, I want to know, this is like slightly off topic, but not really, because Jordan just gave his kind of answer as to what he thought when I first kind of approached him to join the team. Give me your first thoughts, because originally we met during university.
Yes.
And I'd love for you to dive into kind of what your initial thoughts of me were there now, you know,
true,
having actually worked with me for 8 months, almost
a year now.
Almost a year now.
Working with Dave, yeah.
Kind of what, like how that has progressed.
Let's put some like context to, like, I didn't actually like meet you, right? Because we never exchanged words once throughout all of university. I just heard stories of you through like not good sources, obviously, but people that were like close to me. And so I was like, yeah, I'll take your word for it. And like I wasn't much of a really outgoing guy except for like sports. I just did my own thing, right? And so I was
Played
like,
on the Brock rugby team.
yeah, but like besides rugby, it was literally like athletics and then academics. That was it. Like that's all I cared about. So like if someone told me like Dave Stark is a douche, I was like, yeah, Dave Stark's a douche, whatever, right? But then like
someone told him Dave Stark was a douche.
yeah, right.
Probably
so
a lot
like
worse. Let's be real.
yeah, like a lot worse, man. But we don't have to go into it. But like it was just. You know, I didn't think much of it. But then, when was it? It was like March. We went into lockdown in March. You must have hit me up like
April,
June. Or like maybe May or June. And it was just like a quick DM like, hey, like about the Athletes podcast. Do you want to film the content? I don't think you asked me to go on the road trip right away. I don't know if you did or not, but he was saying...
That road trip was kind of sudden, no?
That was... Yo, we'll talk about that in a second too, because that was ridiculous. Man, it was like... I think... Yeah, you just messaged me like, hey, like I want someone to film the Athletes podcast. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, sure. Just because at that time, I was doing a lot of odd jobs, and I was really looking to be someone's content creator, like a YouTuber's, or like I want to make my own YouTube videos or something. And so then Dave came a knocking, and I was like, sure, like putting video, like podcast videos, doing like the videos that we made on the tour, like all that stuff became a possibility and a reality. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I think I just had seen enough of your content to know it was legit and that you were interested in kind of the same realm. I'd heard good things about your work and figured this is a good opportunity. And I like bringing people together. It's cool having a team, right?
Yeah.
I quickly identified within the first 5 episodes that I was not going to be able to do this on my own in any stretch of the imagination. Even like just talking to the people, you need to bounce ideas off, whatever. The best way to start something is like get a team around you, start working together, build off of people's ideas. So I was able to reach out. You were willing to come on. We did a couple photo shoots or shot a couple videos.
I think we did some videos quickly, yeah.
And then it was like, boom, I kind of decided in July, like, let's go on a tour because everything was like still open, but COVID was creeping up, and I'm like, I wanted a week off work and had vacation.
I'm pretty sure I got a text like when I was up north in August, and he's like, "Yo, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to Ottawa, Montreal." I was like, oh wow, that's sudden. All right.
No planning.
Yeah, no, honestly, and like that's a funny story because when Stark actually had asked me to like start the podcast, we didn't hang out until like a week before we actually went to go on this road trip. Our like second or third time hanging out was in the car driving from my house where he picked me up to Ottawa. And so I was just like, this is like, I've never done anything. I was like, I don't even know you. Up until like a month ago, you were Dave the douche. Like now you're Dave Stark, like my boss or like my coworker, and we're going to like, we're driving to different cities together. Like what is going on?
Crossing provinces. Yeah, I think it was literally within 2 weeks. I sent you a text. You weren't down, which pissed me off.
Why weren't you down? That's not besides the point. We're diving in on this one. Why weren't you down?
No, it was
You didn't believe. Yeah, you didn't have the vision yet.
I didn't believe. I didn't. Okay, so I think around that same time, like 2 weeks before, my car broke down.
Yeah.
So I had to buy a new one. So I was like, I don't really know finance-wise if I should be going on a trip and buying a new car.
Yeah. Okay.
So
true.
I was like, yeah.
Fair enough.
The old Pontiac.
Yeah, but we
served me well.
Man, it was. To be fair, if you had come along, it may not have been as good. Not because like you're a buzzkill, but because that car, the car ride. Holy crap! For 2 of us, I was editing from like city to city, like the videos, and it was cramped. Well, it was hot as hell in there too.
Didn't we say if we're going on another trip, we're not doing it in a car?
Yeah, no, we're taking an RV, like a Sprinter van,
you're
RV, something. But
so we left on Monday morning.
Yep.
And just to give you guys context, we did not have a single athlete committed when we left for this trip.
No, not even Gazdick.
We didn't even have So I had texted Luke Gazdick on the weekend, be like, "Hey, buddy, would love to."
Shout out to you, by the way.
Fucking beauty. We had texted, be like, blah blah blah. Sunday's like, man, I haven't really been on camera much. I don't really want to do anything. I'm like, totally fair, whatever, no big deal. Disappointed, but I was like, you know what, we'll drive up to Toronto, get a good workout in. So you and I went up, we filmed a cool workout. Thank God I was in decent shape at that time.
Someone thought you were McDavid.
Someone thought I was McDavid.
Like
signed his mask. Unreal.
Had to sign a mask?
Man, yeah. He like literally up. Like,
you haven't even watched our YouTube video. You're the worst.
Wow, you just like sold yourself out there. But man, yeah, like even up close, face to face, he thought he was McDavid. I literally thought his cover was blown, but like, no, the guy literally went in on it the whole time.
Yeah, you've gotten that. Yeah, he looks like McDavid though.
So we were like middle of the way through the workout, and then Gaz replies and says, "Hey, buddy, don't want to leave you hanging. Let's go. Come to my crib. We'll go check out, hang out for a bit, whatever." So then we get there. I tell him, like, man, I just want to have chill conversations, film some content. I'm like, let's go grab beers, whatever. So we go for a walk, grab beers. Had an unreal time.
I got a little bit tanked.
Yeah, but such a good conversation with Gaz.
Oh yeah.
He's a legend. We'll be doing
great
more
stuff, man. I learned quite a bit from not being like a huge hockey fan. I was pretty engaged, and like I even watched that video. I edit the video, so I watch these podcasts like 8 times while I'm editing it, and I still went back and watched the podcast because everything he said, I was like, "That's pretty interesting."
Yeah, he had some knowledge bombs in there.
There we go.
So then we drive up to Ottawa.
Why don't we just put it like this? Wait, can it sit?
This doesn't get the words, but that still looks good, no?
Yeah, fuck it. It's just the mic. That's what's picking up our...
Boom.
So, AP Tour. Just crazy times.
Yeah.
Pharma Athlete. I didn't film any of the content that you had with him. You're going to forever hold me for that.
Man, until you learn how to record and like in focus, not on an angle, and you click record, I'm going to hold it on you.
Every time you hold the camera.
Hold on, can we touch on that story? Because no one knows that story, and like I
yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know this story, Pharma Athlete, and we can throw up his like Instagram to show. I had just found out who this guy was maybe 2-3 weeks before Dave hit me up to go on this trip, because I had just started doing calisthenics because of the lockdown. I needed to keep working out, and I found his content on Instagram. And so I was like, man, this guy is D's, and it's through bodyweight training. I'm about it. So when I found out we're going to Montreal, I make a joke in my head, and this is why manifestation, I buy into that heavy now. I make a joke, and I was just like, man, what if like for our video in Montreal, we see Pharma Athlete and we get him to film with us? And I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna think about that. And so we get to Montreal, we meet up with Core Cartel, right? We're working out, and this guy tells us that he would come back the next morning and film with us. But I think it was the next morning we were gonna film. He bails in the morning.
Just left us.
Yeah, like
I was rattled.
He just said like, I can't make it, whatever. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
whatever. We came up with this like saying RAR, react, adapt, recover. So that's what we did. We found out where this downtown Montreal calisthenics park was, and when we get there, I see this guy, and I point.
Aviators.
Man, like just a certified beauty. And I point him out to Dave, and I was like, man, I think that's Pharma Athlete. But I'm too shy of a person to say anything. But luckily, Dave, balls of steel over here, I tell him, man, you got to go talk to him. If we can get him for our video, this would be insane. So Dave just nuts up, walks on over, and then, well, we can even put the video in if you want. Yeah. This is the video
add
that
the tile
happened.
for it.
The video here, that's what came from it. And, man, it was, like, that was crazy. It was literally like a manifestation. It was a surreal moment.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
But man, here's the kicker, okay? So I've been training calisthenics for a couple of months now, getting better at my fitness, doing pull-ups, muscle-ups, like working on my muscle-ups. And so I get a chance to go and show Pharma Athlete how to, like, my muscle-ups, right? Because Dave did his first one on camera, because I caught it. All I tell Dave to do is just click record. It was an autofocus lens. I didn't care if it was sideways, upside down, whatever. I just wanted it. Dave is literally there, up in my face, recording all these angles. I'm just like in my head, I was like, man, this is going to be some sick footage. Pharma Athlete smiling. I got 4 or 5 muscle-ups in a row. The guy didn't even click record. I wait until I get back to the hotel that night, go through the footage, and I notice he didn't click record. I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, in my head, I was like, this guy.
You didn't say a thing to you?
I don't know when you brought it up.
I brought it up maybe a couple of months ago. Like not even on the trip, dude. It was a long time past. I was like, remember that time that you filmed me?
I was
doing
heartbroken.
Muscle ups. I was like, you didn't record anything.
Heartbroken, man.
Man, but that's the first time that story's actually been put out there. Mm-hmm. Like, that's hilarious.
That was crazy. That whole week was. We lived in AC/DC.
It was crazy.
Rockstar lifestyle tour.
Yeah, dude.
Like we did not stop. Did not get enough sleep. Drank copious amounts of alcohol.
Man, it was literally like athletics in the daytime and then boozing at night.
Man, we were we were legends in Ottawa. Like we went through Ottawa twice. Went with Culkin, golfed. He set up an unbelievable day there.
That was in Montreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was in between.
Yeah.
Crazy time.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to talk about how we were supposed to go to? We were supposed to go deeper. We were supposed to go to Quebec, and then we called the hotel saying we got into a car accident.
I don't want to bring that,
Bro, dude, come on.
I haven't even. I've never heard of.
Man, if you don't go into it, I'm going to.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, so
we pulled an audible, like a hot second audible.
So we're in Montreal. Culkin just brought up a beauty day. We had drinks, food, the whole nine. We played 9 holes of golf. Great time. And we're supposed to drive to Quebec City, which is like 2 hours, 2.5 with
It was like
traffic.
2.5 hours there, and we were leaving at I think it was like 5:30 at night.
So
it was raining too.
It was downpouring.
Set a mood right there.
And so we're like, man, why the hell are we going? We didn't have any athletes in Quebec.
No.
So like, what the hell are we doing? Like, why are we going? What are we? Like, it just didn't make sense. So I call up the hotel. I'm like, yo, so
Knowing
we're not gonna
full well that we can't get a refund.
Yeah,
like,
I booked this Airbnb or whatever like a week ago. I'm like, we're not gonna make it. We've had some issues. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So am I. You know.
So am I.
I don't know. I really apologize, but I'm just hoping there's something you can do. Yeah, let me talk to my supervisor. Came back, we're good. So I had to book the other hotel back in Montreal.
The place that we had just stayed at, yeah.
Got our cooler stolen.
So you said you got in a car accident somewhere though?
No, I don't want that bad karma.
Yeah, no, man. Well, okay, dude,
Yo,
I'll
it was a
take it.
bad
I'll
one.
take it. So basically,
We lost a friend.
basically, like we were leaving, and I just told Dave, I was like, man, like let's just not go because we the place we had stayed was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's dope.
And we were like, we have a place to stay here if we need to. Because of like COVID, I was coming in. They had to like give 2 days in between to clean, and so I was like, we should just go back to that same place. And so the only way we were getting out is because we called the actual hotel first, and they were saying we can't refund you. You have to call TripAdvisor or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then we called, and we were like, we have to like spruce up what happened. So we were in a car accident, and the lady on the other end was like, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. We'll see what we can do. Super nice, man. Like, if she ever sees this, like, so nice.
So sorry for these two.
But basically, and long story short, she's like, yeah, we'll refund you, and we hope everything works out. So basically, we called the other lady. The other lady hadn't even cleaned our room yet, so we go back to the same, like, the hotel thing we were staying at, and the room's still the exact same. I'm pretty sure our roommates that were there that were sharing the.
They just thought we were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't move though. The one guy was on the couch when we left and came back. He like.
I tried speaking French and we didn't even like that either.
I did not even try speaking another language.
So AP tour was crazy. Let's like wrap that up.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like,
how long was it?
Probably the best 5 days. Honestly, arguably one of the best 5 days of my life. No cap. And that was like this 3rd or 4th time we'd ever hung out.
No, that was a good time, especially going. One quick thing. Remember when we went to. I think it was in Montreal. We were downtown and we were in an Irish pub.
Yeah.
And then you said something, and the waitress shot you.
Yeah.
No, not even that, but about like being in an Irish pub. You're like, wow, I'm surprised you guys don't speak French or something. Something harmless, and that lady just stopped what she was doing, and it was like something like basically a backhand in words. I was so shocked. I was like, wow.
I took that one off the chin. She was attractive.
She was, but she was also like, that was just like. Wow, where'd that...
That made her unattractive really quickly.
It scared me.
You got a little turned on.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Okay, so what do we got here, Jordo?
Okay, so January.
Challenges.
Yeah, challenges. We started some... You guys kind of called me about the Wim Hof one.
Ian, Wim Hof's you dive into it.
Okay, so basically, we kind of talked about this. The Wim Hof video will be coming out. It's coming out.
It might be out before this podcast.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is, actually.
Maybe we'll drop it on the same day.
But basically, in the video, I touch upon how I feel like most people live a very basic sedentary lifestyle and they just get by day without pushing themselves. And so I figured in 2021, with all of the crap that's going on with the lockdown and just how like shitty everything seems in general, why not make my mental state stronger? And so I was originally going to do this Wim Hof challenge on my own, but having the athletes podcast around, I was like, why don't we bring it to the boys and have a group challenge?
And 30 seconds. What's the challenge?
So the challenge is like you're doing like your breathing protocol and then cold exposure for 30 days, and it's supposed to activate your atomic nervous system. I think that's what it is. I might have introverted it. No, it's something else. Not this. It's something else. You access it. But it's really cool.
Flight mode.
Yeah, like cold exposure has a lot of good health benefits.
We'll list them right here.
Yeah, it's just hard to commit to it sometimes. That's the hardest part of getting into it, is the commitment factor.
100%.
But I brought it to the boys and we're like, let's make a challenge out of it. And so we all love a good challenge and we have a good mentality of getting 1% better every day. And so
Clothing coming soon.
Yeah, that's a little hint. Yeah, so we embarked on this 30-day little challenge. All of us, well, we were supposed to film ourselves. Some of us didn't film everything, we found out. But that was one cool challenge, especially during COVID. It kept things interesting, even though it only took like 2 minutes of my day for the shower and maybe about 20 minutes for the breathing.
Yeah.
That like 25-minute period throughout the day was something to look forward to.
Did you guys like the halfway mark thing we did, or what? The calves in the Lake Ontario?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, give me your overall feeling of going into Lake Ontario. Like, let's give them just like 30 days. We jump in. We spend a minute and a half in Lake Ontario. How'd you guys feel?
Oh, I lost a flip flop, so.
Oh, yeah, man. How do
I
you
feel
feel
like
about
you were
that?
kind of a little bit of a bitch.
I was also the first one to go, right? He got to see the reactions of both Ian and I before hopping in the water himself and singing his own song. I don't know what he was doing, to be honest.
At the same time, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Like, I think he had it bad because he had to get in the water once and then get back out because the hole wasn't big enough. We did not make the hole big enough, so like there's you'll see a shot while he
It was pretty frozen. How long did we take?
That was about like 15-20 minutes of just
at least 20
like
20 minutes of one of us just going at it, making a hole that was big enough
when we
for
struck
one body.
water. I'm so pissed that we didn't film. We struck water, all of us, for a moment. We're like happy.
It's like we hit gold.
But then at the same time, we're like, damn, now we have to do this. Like,
keep in mind, when we were driving there, our thought was we find a spot big enough for the three of us to jump in at the same time.
That was
minute
so
and a half.
far-fetched.
We felt good. 2 minutes, then hop out, But no, that didn't happen.
Well, you'll see the difference between the 15-day footage and the 30-day mark, how much the lake had frozen. So I was expecting something similar to day 15, where if you go out far enough, it would just be slush water. No.
Wim Hof video to come. Good experience. We still do cold showers. I've been a huge advocate for cold exposures for like 3 years now.
Still doing cold showers at the
Still
end.
do them every day.
I'm doing like 30
recommended.
to 45 seconds at the end of my showers.
Yeah.
Blast the cold.
Try it. If you don't do cold showers yet, you should. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I just like to go out in cold weather now. Like with the
Jordan's-
t-shirt.
Yeah, actually,
Jordan's a
I was
weirdo.
going to say, out of everybody that got affected, in terms of cold exposure, I think you got affected
I
the
love it.
most.
So
Because now he's coming out, like, we'll go out, like, we're up in my cottage right now, and it's -8 outside. Last night we arrived here, and it was, like, so cold. He was out there in shorts saying it was really fine.
no, yeah, but it was cold, but it's a mental thing, right? If you just tell yourself it's fine, it's gonna be
Well,
fine.
everything's a mental thing, technically,
yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
all right,
Sorry,
so,
Goggins.
speaking of, that's a good segue. Speaking of mental, you want to talk about the Goggins challenge we just did?
Yeah, so I'll go like into it. Like last year, I did the 4x4x48 challenge, 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, and I thought it was a crazy experience. And so this year, Goggins posted about it again, and I said to the boys, I'm like, listen, like this is something you guys want to do in March. I knew it'd get Dave on, but he always said he hated running. And that he just
still
hated
do.
it. Like
I
still
still
hates
do.
running. So I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna get Ian on this thing or not. He ended up saying he'd do it. We did it. We spent the 48 hours at his place running. How did you guys like it?
You like it.
Like I kept saying throughout the entire video, every time I filmed, I was saying like there's no benefit to this challenge except for the mental gain that I'm gonna grow from.
The best part was waking up. We all said the same thing. It's like, why are we doing this? This guy was so pissed off every time.
Man, honestly, like it really messed up my sleeping because now I'm going to bed at like 9:30. Last night was the latest I've stayed up in about a week. So I'm going to bed at 9:30, waking up at 4:30.
Yeah.
How did you guys like? What did you guys think about the Goggins challenge? Besides the fact that it was difficult, but
like last year, I hated like being in the moment. I knew it was a mental grind. I was like, this is the last time I'll do this. Finished it.
I'm proud.
Loved it.
Yeah, I'm proud of the fact we did it as a team.
100% doing it again next year.
I'm kind of pissed that you keep saying we're doing it next year, and like
I'm not.
The more the more I think about it, maybe I would do it again.
The three of us are doing it again next year.
Maybe I would do it again, but I would definitely train for it a bit ahead of time. Because like I just want to touch upon that again. Dave and I, and Jordan, I'll say, we did not train for this at all. The last time I ran a distance was when I was playing rugby, which was about 3.5, maybe 4 years ago. Dave's last time actually running was like September.
Yeah,
right?
I only run 5Ks maybe once every 2 weeks.
Right, and so no training at all. I forgot about this thing until Thursday, and then
Dave bought his runners that day of.
right, like Saturday night
4
comes
hours
around
before.
midnight, and it's just like, all right, here's the first run. No, Saturday at 11.
So
It's like,
Friday
here's the-
night.
Was that Friday?
Friday at 11 p.m.
Brutal.
was our first run and every 4 hours you had to wake up from that moment.
But we felt like, honestly, that first run, I was on a high. I was like, man, this is gonna be
I was
easy.
flying.
Man, we finished that thing like, well, I thought it was fast, and I saw everybody else's time. Fuck, even our fast time was slow.
Yeah, we were slow, but keep in mind, I don't know if anyone else who didn't train or wasn't a runner would do this challenge.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know any non-runners who have done this challenge.
We definitely took the mental approach to the David Goggins.
Oh, for
4x4
sure.
Oh,
Sure,
just
sure.
push it. Just push it.
By the halfway
Strictly
point, we were
mental.
hurting.
That's why I'm kind of mad that I didn't do the actual run on the 8th run and I did the bike instead. Kind of wish, even if I just hobbled in my
I know,
neighborhood.
yeah.
But man, like it would have taken me literally 2 hours
Jordan
to
said
do
that.
it.
Jordan's like, his pace was like 4 hours.
No,
so-
I can tell, man. There were some times. Be honest now. Were you guys getting pissed off at me?
No, I wasn't getting pissed off. I was thinking though, like, I was thinking, if we go at Ian's time, our break will be this walk, and then we have to go out again.
No,
for him.
no, man.
I was
Listen,
never pissed. I was just like, let's get through this. For me, I was in such pain.
He wanted to sleep as soon as we got.
Man,
Yeah.
there was one point. Actually, there was multiple points. I want to make this very clear, so I'm making this like super close. I was like literally cursing your name, Dave. Like every step I took was like, "Fuck you, David. Fuck you, David." And like, man, I was playing tag with him. I was like, because I had so many cramps, I would be so far behind, and I would be like that chubby kid running after an ice cream truck, and I'd be giving her all I got, and then I would catch up. The fucker would just keep going. He'd be walking, and then he would just start running again.
He did that a lot.
But like that's what I'm saying. And so I just like in my head,
Jack
like, my
Rabbit.
anthem was just like,
a
"Fuck
dick."
you, David. Fuck, just trying to keep up."
That was my way of. I only run with like, I need some motivation, something to excite me. I like being ahead. So as soon as I heard footsteps coming up from behind, I was like, okay, gotta get going.
And I knew that, so I tried to like slow down my pace and like lighten my jog, and I'd be like, "Oh, cramp," and I would like stutter and be like, "Oh, there's Ian." Start going, like, "Fuck, Dave." Man, I don't think I finished. There was not one run except for the last two that we walked, all of us together, that I was not playing tag at least for at least 3 kilometers of that whole run.
You definitely you battled.
That last run though, that was a good one, eh?
That was high. That was BDE going. That was
I just got off to a hot start there.
Yeah, he wanted to get it done quick, and I loved it.
Yeah, I was mad at you at first, and I was like, you know what? Like once
Then you started
then
chugging.
he took the lead for
once
a
the
bit.
pain like
Once you ignore it.
yeah, like no, like once you can just get through that initial like ow it hurts, it's kind of just like all right, let's get it done.
That was the worst part. Is that we were in pain after every run, but it felt better. Then we sat for 3 hours,
And then getting
getting back up, it hurt like hell.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly, playing Chell for the last couple of runs in the break was probably the best idea because I wasn't getting stiff. I was rolling my feet the entire time.
I
Yeah.
liked my sleeves.
But yeah. In terms of what we want to talk about in this 75th episode, seeing how far you guys have come from starting.
We have come.
Well, no, like how far you have come from where you started in your bedroom for the first 5 episodes to
first, like what, 20?
yeah. Also more.
You weren't gonna let me finish. Though.
Sorry, go.
First 5. I hate when they always do this. First 5 episodes on your own in your bedroom, and then Jordan hopped on, and then you had someone else like helping you out. But now like we're in an
This is a
actual
team thing,
studio, right? Quote unquote studio. We have a whole room dedicated to the podcast. We have gear, different mic. We have you have now videos. We have extra lighting. Like it's stepped up from episode 1 to 75 now.
So
Amazing to
it's
see
a
the
lot.
progression.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see episode 75 to 100.
Right?
Right? Impulsive podcast. Watch out.
You guys have any moments? I know, like, you can't hear the actual conversations because
Never.
yeah,
We need to get
But,
you a
like-
set of headphones.
Well, no,
too.
I don't care because like,
You get to edit.
well, no, because Jordan's been taking over. Hey, if someone wants
Jordan's
to
been
send
taking
us a
over.
really good editing system, please do. Because
Can't be under
Jordan's,
$1,000.
Jordan's taking my job away from me. It's kind of like
Because-
AI, just kind of like pushing me out.
and I'm a fan of that.
Okay, so what? Like, should we touch on like
I
things
was
to
gonna say
come?
no. I wanted to say, like, what was your favorite? You have a favorite guest? Anything that stands out?
Favorite guest?
I don't have a favorite guest. Everyone's been unique.
I wanted to say for David, I thought it was gonna be the Mind Pump guys.
That was a big moment. That was like Justin, Adam, and Sal. Those were like guys that I'd kind of put on pedestal, trying to emulate what they are, what they've built, who they are as human beings, the wisdom that they have, and like. So that for me was a big. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm glad you bring that up. You brought that up.
I thought that was a big.
What's
one for you.
yours?
All right.
Or like most impactful? Because
I
for
just
me-
want to say like they were an inspiration, and I think they were like Adam, who was the original guy I reached out to, asked him if he'd be interested in chatting, and he came on, was willing, and like he's the catalyst of
Yeah.
kind of where we've seen a lot of growth recently. So I really appreciate them coming on, carving time out of their day to do it. It was sick, and if you haven't listened to those episodes, they're legit.
I would love to
Highly
do
recommend
another
it.
one with those guys. But
I
like
would
in the
too.
gym.
We will
Like
in the
in
future
gym or
when we
something.
go down to LA. We'll do something with them.
True.
See, the thing is, during those times, those 3 episodes, I'm pretty sure my actual computer broke down, so I was recording them from my sister's room. I was like, man,
Rough move.
it was.
Rough.
So I'd like to, yeah, but they were a fantastic guest to have on.
I would like. Wow, words. Okay, so I'm trying to think in terms of most impactful or like the person that's done the most. I was gonna say probably Natalie, because
Really?
we've done the most with her since.
With AP tour.
Right, like since I've met her, which was on the AP tour. Now you've done the 150K day.
She's become like a good
You guys
friend.
do clubhouses weekly together, right? Like
Yeah.
no, like yeah. It's in terms of most impactful guest that I've seen you have so far. Definitely that.
Boom, that's another thing, by the way, Clubhouse, that
Mhm.
sparked for the athletes part. Well, Dave specifically. but,
Clubhouse in general just is
It's a
a
dope-
crazy platform that I wish like I can't wait till it's on Android as well. I think they're
Yeah.
missing out
Oh,
with not
fuck,
having it on
yeah.
Android because that's a crazy good platform. Not that we kind of fell off the wagon doing the Thursday things. I'll take this part out, but like in terms of like
Good,
how
'cause
it's
I am like,
What do you mean?
in terms of how it's just like a great spot for people who need just someone to talk
Oh,
to.
man.
It's
So-
insane how easy it is and how accessible it is for any topic you want to talk about. There was somebody on Clubhouse who wants to talk about the same thing. Dave, do you want to wrap up the 75th episode for the Athletes Podcast?
Yeah, let's do it. So, I'm grateful that I've got you two nimbusols laughing on my left here, giggling uncontrollably.
Just keeping the vibe.
Because we have a good thing going. I think these next 75 episodes are going to be insane, the growth we see again. And the quality of people that we're interviewing, the stories that we've been able to share, the lives that we've been able to impact is crazy to me. And I don't think I knew necessarily the impact we'd be able to have.
no.
And it's pretty incredible to look back on now. And the fact that we're able to educate so many people, parents, kids, coaches, like everyone who listens has a different perspective that they bring and another dynamic that's so unique. And I appreciate every single aspect. And when people reach out via DMs, text, whatever it is, it's like those are so impactful. So I appreciate it, and I just want to say thank you to everyone. And for those who follow along and are excited, let us know below who you think we should have on, who would be great guests to feature. Subscribe if you haven't. That's huge.
That's a
Like
big
this and
one.
subscribe, that's all we say.
Yep.
Check out the
Share it.
website.
Share this around.
Yeah, Jordan's created a dope website. Highly recommend you look that out. Check that out.
We got-
Check that out. Yeah.
We got a nice little blog going
Nick's
now,
blog.
Too. Yep.
We haven't named it yet.
Man, we got a lot of things cooking right now.
Yeah, we have
That's
a
the
lot
best
of
part.
things in the works. Like we're not even going to talk about what's going on behind the scenes yet.
No,
once
let's not
once
talk
we
about
have
it.
things actually going, we're gonna bring them out, roll them out one by one. But yeah, I think that's a great point to stop it at right now.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys for listening. Yeah, we
75th
got-
episode
we got
of the
it.
Athletes Podcast.
Bye.